Alright guys, this one's wild. So Milo Yiannopoulos, if I'm saying that right, just unloaded a massive thread on Elijah Schaefer and Sarah Stock. And these two people are huge in the conservative and traditional sphere. And this just shows how big it truly has gotten, because I typically don't get this stuff on my Twitter, but it even appeared on my For You page. And I think the thread has like, what, about 4 million views now. So it's leaked into everyone's feed. It's a huge scandal, huge drama. And if you don't know these two people, Elijah and Sarah Stock, these two have spent years online preaching Catholic values, but they preach about virginity until marriage, strong traditional values, and they call it degeneracy wherever they see it. And this thread drops receipts that shows them allegedly doing the exact opposite. So a 6-month affair, blackout drinking, pregnancy scares, pegging, possible abortions, massive substance use, the collapse of Elijah Schaefer's business, Rift TV. And it's just textbook hypocrisy, really. They preach one thing publicly, and then they live a degenerate life privately. So I'm going to be breaking down this entire thread for you chronologically as well, so you can follow exactly what happened. And this is all based on his posts from February 3rd to 4th. And this includes leaked audios, messages, and more. But I don't think I'll be sharing the audios in this video. So a quick rundown on the people involved. We have Elijah Schaefer. He's a conservative podcaster, used to work for Blaze Media, which is a conservative media company. And he went on to found Rift TV. He's the one who's posting all the time with his huge crosses, Orthodox Christian aesthetics, family values. And he's always positioning himself as like a moral authority and constantly calling out sin and degeneracy in others. And then we have Sarah Stock, who's the trad wife Catholic influencer. And she really focuses on modesty, waiting till marriage, how the body's sacred and pure. She's very anti-abortion, and she always calls women whores on Twitter, constantly calling them degenerate, as she's building her brand as virtuous. She's the virtuous exception, right? But they both monetize this high moral stance very hard. So Milo said that in February of 2025 at a CPAC conference, which is basically a conservative conference, I believe. This is where the two first met for the first time, where they also had sex that same day. And leaked audio has shown Sarah admitting that she got blackout drunk, in addition to Benadryl that Elijah gave her for a supposed rash. They both told each other, "I love you" in this audio, and Elijah talked about leaving his wife for her. And this affair ran for 6 months with near weekly hookups. And this only ended the day that Sarah got engaged around August. So yes, this went on for around 6 months while she had a fiance, keep in mind. Weekly hookups. And during this 6-month phase, they had multiple pregnancy scares, and a former acquaintance or ex-worker of Rift TV, I believe, said that at least one abortion happened. And once again, this is all alleged. I didn't report on this. I'm just stating the events that took place. So her now husband, used to be fiance, met Elijah multiple times during this 6-month phase, and he had no idea about the affair when he proposed. And Sarah made him wait until marriage, letting him believe that she was a virgin the entire time. So she's talking about how the body is sacred, and especially as a Catholic, it's important that your wife, for some Catholics at least, that they are a virgin. So the fact that she's LARPing as this virgin, pure, sacred body woman on Twitter and to her own husband, which is supposed to be the person you're closest with, is absolutely insane that she had an affair for this long. And you really got to feel bad for the guy, because he's completely innocent on this. And if you don't know, also in Catholic faith, it's hard to get a divorce. And the way to actually get it is you need a lot of evidence in order to get the marriage annulled rather than divorced. So in the case of the ex-husband, it'd be pretty easy to annul the marriage. Sarah Stock and her husband went to the Vatican in order to get a personal blessing from the Pope himself, which is displayed on the screen now. And you can just see something about her smile, her eyes. Now that we know in retrospect what happened, you can sense that predation in her eyes. And it's just wild that she's LARPing in front of the Pope even. Now moving on to Elijah's history. This also doesn't match the trad image that he's selling now. So he admitted to a twink phase before marriage, where he enjoyed aggressive anal penetration. And this lines up with his time as a youth pastor at Calvary Chapel, where he grew up around Benny Johnson, which is another very famous conservative. You've probably seen him on like Instagram or something. That's where I've seen him. And he attempted multiple sleepovers at his house, went to the same church, and left in a hurry after being caught having sex with another man there. Which again, there's nothing wrong with all of this. It's the fact that they perform as someone completely different online and bashing people who are the exact same as them. So Schaefer's marriage has been a disaster for years. There's constantly been infidelity, drunken rants, abuse, neglect, and his wife actually filed for a divorce in Texas in January of 2026. And Elijah was so worried about his public manly image going to waste that he quickly filed for divorce in Florida to pretend that he initiated it. So he counterfiled a divorce in order to maintain and preserve his image and his aura, I guess. So going back to the pegging fetish, this is actually a recurring theme, and Milo says that it's well known. Elijah owns an electric dildo he takes on trips like to El Salvador, and he hires prostitutes, but spends most of the time getting anally penetrated by them. Dozens of stories pouring in from people about aggressive advances, wild spending on drugs and booze, and the story always ends the same way, with a foreign object in Elijah Schaefer's rectal canal. Going back to his company, Rift TV, a few months ago it recently underwent a huge lawsuit involving some defamation or something, so they needed to raise money in order to get things back on track. His company was valued at $5 million valuation, with one of his investors alone donating over $250K, but now it's all gone after this entire event has happened. His staff has quit, his company's most likely going to dissolve, and he's heading for bankruptcy. So yeah, that's basically all we know for now from the full thread from Milo. In conclusion, we see that these trad figures sell concepts of virginity, faithful marriages, the nuclear family, and they get caught in 6-month affairs, crazy blackouts on drugs, fetishes that they condemn in their entirety, abortions, all meanwhile they're judging the entire world while practicing the exact things that they condemn. It's literally performative LARPing at the highest degree. They have crosses and Bible quotes branded for clout and cash for that follower count, but in reality, their private life is the exact same degeneracy that they claim to fight. If more drops on the Rift TV workplace or anything else, I'll cover it. But what do you make of this? Is this ultimate hypocrisy, or is it just human failure dressed up as virtue? Drop your thoughts below. Like this if this breakdown helped you make sense of the situation. Subscribe for more videos like this. Maybe comment down some topics or even email me some topics that you'd like me to cover. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.